What family secrets were revealed when you became an adult? One of my cousins got into some trouble years ago while he was backpacking overseas. I'm not too close with him, that is. He was never really too close with the family. Once every couple of years, he'd show up for Thanksgiving. But besides that, nothing. I didn't have his cell phone number. He wasn't on Facebook. Anyway, I was in high school when my mom announced at the dinner table that Chris, fed up really bad, got himself sent to some Russian prison. And everybody at the table was like, what do you mean? Russia? When did Chris go to Russia? But maybe we were all a little too enthusiastic, bombarding my mom with a bunch of questions she wasn't really ready to answer. I don't know, was all she would say. Well, what do you mean you don't know? He's in Russia? And she'd say, that's what I said, Russia. But how did he get to Russia? What did he get arrested for? Was it guns? Or substances? Is he involved in some sort of organized crime? Does Chris speak Russian? What did Uncle Steve say? Is he going to go to Russia to try and bail him out? And my mom was like, I couldn't tell you. I don't know, alright? Okay? I don't know. Why don't you call up your Uncle Steve and ask him? That was it, really. Everybody got quiet after that. Call up Uncle Steve? That would have been nuts. That was it, really. Everybody got quiet after that. As it was, we all saw Uncle Steve a little more regularly than Chris. But what I mean is that Uncle Steve showed up to Thanksgiving every year. Whereas with Chris, it was always, I don't know if Chris will be here. Ask Uncle Steve. And Uncle Steve would just be sitting in the corner drinking a Manhattan, so nobody ever went over to ask him. That was that, for a while anyway. I went away to college, graduated, got a bunch of boring jobs. Every once in a while, my dad would say something at dinner like, I wonder how your cousin Chris is holding up in Russia. And we'd all get excited. Did you hear something about Chris? Did you ever figure out how he wound up in Russia? But I think my dad only brought that up to get under my mom's skin. Like maybe they were fighting before dinner and didn't resolve anything. My dad would drop the bomb. I wonder what Chris is up to. And my mom would get fed up. I don't know. Stop asking me about Chris. I haven't heard from your cousin in years. A couple of months ago, my grandfather died. It wasn't sudden, and he was really old, so everyone was sad. But it was more of a lament over humanity and old age than a tragic family death. I called out of work, and they were like, how much time do you think you'll need? As if thinking, grandfather. That doesn't sound too devastating. Can you be back the day after tomorrow? So we're all at the second wake, and like an hour before the funeral home was closing, guess who walked in? Yeah, it was Chris. Everyone went crazy. Chris. Oh my god, Chris. What's up, man? Where have you been? Were you really in a Russian prison? Jesus Christ, look, Mom, Chris is here. It was pretty crazy to see him. For the first time all day, that weird death in the family feeling disappeared. He was standing there surrounded by everybody, and in those first few seconds before he had a chance to say anything, I was trying to piece it together, how I got from a few minutes ago to where I was right now. I must have been embellishing it already in my head, but I played it back, picturing him leaping through those doors. Hey guys, I'm back. It was unbelievable, Chris. Right here, finally. Everyone let him catch his breath, gave him room to explain himself. Yeah, it's true, he told us. I got sentenced to prison while I was in Russia. I didn't know I was in Russia exactly. I was backpacking through Eastern Europe with some friends, and we were on a train, and I couldn't understand anything. I thought we were in Poland or something. These guards start getting all up in our business one night while we were just having a good time. They start pushing us around, and I'm thinking this is Poland or Prague. I'm thinking, these guys won't do anything, I'm an American, what a power trip. So I'm laughing and not really cooperating, and then finally these guys take their guns out. I don't understand a word, nothing, so I just put my hands up. We all get carted off, next thing I know I'm before a judge. There's a big bag of cocaine on the table. I swear, I have no idea. But what am I going to do? How can I get in touch with the ambassador? I never figured it out. That night they had us on a train to Siberia. Effing crazy, right? My mom shot him a look for cursing, and he apologized. I asked, Chris, how'd you make it out? What, he said. Out of the prison? I got out. The maximum sentence in any Russian prison is like 8 years. Didn't you ever read Crime and Punishment? No, I never read Crime and Punishment. I think I was supposed to for school, but I don't even think the teacher read it. Did you get hit up? I can't believe you still have all of your teeth. You actually look pretty good. He said, why wouldn't I look good? Those Russian prisons have a bad rap. Those guys aren't so bad. You just have to know how to deal with them. All those prisoners, criminals, political prisoners, they're all so used to being pushed around by the state, bullied their entire lives. You know how you deal with someone like that? You stare them down. You hold your ground. Nobody messed with me over there. I was like an honorary guard. Mom, when did Chris get back? Did you know he was coming? I couldn't believe my eyes. After all this time, my brother had returned, and I had so many questions about where he'd been and why he'd left in the first place.